Estamos aquí con Sam Coe en la base secreta. ¿Podré entrar a ver este bicharraco? No, no puedo. Esto es como Jurassic Park, weón.
It's safe here, right? Terramorphs give me the heebie-jeebies.
No, si yo cuando lo vi por primera vez que he hecho pico, weón.
Oh, this goddamn
Por
planet.
cómo mato...
You
cómo...
romanticize a place when you're away from it for long enough. But I forgot
Deja
what a
de terminar de hablar este
dust-crested
culio.
pit Mars can be. Now you, what do you need?
La weá es que cuando aparece el terremorfo por primera vez sale otro bicho nada que ver del piso ahí de weón y de repente sale el terremorfo que con una garra le aplasta la cabeza contra el piso, después le pega con la otra así como sacándole algo de la... metiendo la mano por el hocico y le saca... No, weón. Horror.
You project personnel? Supplies are for project personnel only. Oh, that's you then. I was informed we might be working together. Don't much care for Vanguard. It sounds like you two really got into the thick of it back in New Atlantis. My sister's kids live in the city. So, thank you for what you did there.
De nada.
Yeah, they both came through okay. One science division, other's an artist. Effectively useless human beings that would have had no reason to be anywhere near the fighting. Still, would hate to see anything happen to them.
Ella, por la weona
Was it you
útil.
needed? Don't worry, I'll handle the paperwork.
Regalo de vampiro. Robo médico, probabilidad de que los humanos suelten botiquines al morir. Buena, Mira, láser de reconocimiento, silenciador, culata plegable, cargador de tambor de flechetes. Alta velocidad, disparo de ráfaga. Oh, este weón tiene weas pulentas, weón. Cacha esta weá, pues weón. Eh... Es carito. Tú que es asesino refinado, pacificador. ¿Qué cadencia tiene? 20 y más cartuchos 9. Munición usa cartuchos de 15 por 25. Ya le quiero comprar algo al no, al Samco. Esta weá está muy cerda. Yo te voy a comprar este. Bueno, ya tengo una ametralladora. Ay, bueno. Esta weá que se llame bombardeo imprudente me... Orión mejorado. Estas de energía, no. En este juego no he sido muy fan de las armas de energía, me quedo con la sensación de que hacen nada. Calibre 27. Ya me lo voy a llevar y te voy a comprar munición. No tenéis mochilas bacanes. Atuendos, ¿qué atuendos tenés? Está viola. Está viola el sombrero. No, pero yo creo que estamos ahí, guacho. Muchas gracias, Samco.
And with the two of us together, I'll carry anything you need.
Mi hijo,
Well, within reason.
mi hijo le tengo regalitos nuevos. Ah, tengo. Este es para usted. Para usted. Y puta, esta guay que munición usar. De esta usada parece.
Hey, if you find a new pit.
O sea, y te voy a quitar, weá. Pues guacho. Las vamos. Ya, era 15 por 25, ¿cierto? 15 por 25, sí. Y mochila.
I miss you already.
Need something? Just say the word. Everything up to spec.
Sí, guacho, te quiero vender. Quiero vender esta. Hasta yo creo que me la voy a... 180. Ya, te voy. Esta weá se queda. Se queda. Ah, tiene plata el comerciante, bien. Sí, porque el láser...
Better damn well not repeat itself here.
El láser aparece solito. Tienen un horromorfo acá. ¿Qué es una nave?
Greetings, Captain.
Vasco.
Nice to be back.
Yes.
Andrea. Cora.
Yes.
Sara. Sam. Asiento. Ya, guachos, al infinito y más allá. Ay, vamos a Tolimon. Demasiado cerca, weón. Para mi gusto, demasiado cerca.
Schedule again. You're advised to leave this orbit immediately. The United Colonies will not be held responsible for any harm you suffer by proceeding. Let me check my logs. Alright, you can proceed. We'll let them know you're on your way down.
Ah, café. Bill café. Café, Bill café.
Hello, Captain.
Inside the barriers, double time! You with the Xeno unit? You're heading to command. Command post is at the far end of the compound inside the old Terra.
Ah, están practicando. Qué chulo.
I pride myself on knowing everyone on this world, and I don't know you. You're with the collection team then, I presume. Either that, or you're one deeply unlucky trespasser. Vanguard, eh? Brief said you were an eclectic group. You must have really shined out on the fringe to get assigned a task like this. Ah, then this must be the rest of your outfit.
Commander Hatum, I'm...
No need for introductions, Major Simon. Dr. Walker, your reputations precede you, as does the urgency of your mission, so I'll get to it. Now, Londinium is one of the most dangerous places in the Milky Way. It's with good reason my soldiers and I do everything we can to avoid entering the city. Terramorphs are omnipresent, and the structural damage left behind when Major Sinon's father bombed its spaceport has turned large swathes of the metropolis into a decaying labyrinth. As such, we'll be providing you all with gear, information, and uploading municipal unlock codes to your robot. Every tool you could need to succeed out there. Except one. Once you're on the other side of those barriers, you will be on your own. If you get into trouble, my people will not be coming. Do we understand each other? Precisely. I'll leave you to your preparations then. You can find your equipment in our armory, base of the tower just outside. And I do believe there's someone waiting for you there, Captain. Now, once you're outside the base, it's my personal suggestion you make a beeline to the nearby Aceles plant. It contains one of our field caches. Though I can't guarantee it won't contain anything else. I hope you all find what you're looking for out there. Robot, you're coming with me.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Commander. Percival, you all set to hook into their comms tower?
Should only take a few minutes. Let's get this done and get the hell out of here.
Percival will be scanning the city for our samples from here. When he finds one, he'll transmit the coordinates to us out in the field. All right. Head over to the armory and gear up. Once you're done, we'll meet by the entrance to the city.
Te veis misterioso, weón.
Hello.
Oh, qué buen casco, conche tu madre.
Heard you're going out there willingly. Damn.
Hey.
Give him one for me, all right?
Yeah? Pardon?
Lo siento, Sam, te voy a poner el gorro. Me subió la carga. Este traje sube la carga. Claro. Aparejos, más 20 la capacidad de carga. Estamos diciendo. Ayúdame a comer una panacea. Oh, está bueno. Estoy con hipotermia y frío congelamiento ya, pero estamos...
Don't go into the city much. Never for long. Too risky.
Un chunk. Ya.
Okay. Hello. You match our description. The Vanguard captain? The cabinet wanted you to have something. Make sure you had the best tools for the task at hand. Now, if you'll excuse me.
¿Qué me diste, weón? Pero esta hace 16 y la que tengo yo hace 12. Me he enamorado. Ya me llevo todo, weón. Me llevo todo.
Transfers complete. Those codes will allow you to temporarily restore power to most facilities in the city. Systems should shut themselves back down automatically.
All set on your gear? Are you ready to do this? Then let's get this show on the road. Kaiser? Percival, everything green on your end?
I am ready.
Personal comm should be routed through Kaiser now. You copy that?
Roger, loud and clear.
Perhaps too loud.
Oh, you're a riot robot.
Kaiser, kick it off.
Unlock code transmitted. You may open the gate when ready.
Alright. On our way into the city. Percival, where are we heading?
Running the first sweep. Got one. A Sealy's. Not far. Old shipping yard just past the processing plant. Gene samples are probably in one of the... containers.
What? That creature. It's dominated. Must be a morph nearby, keeping it under its sway. Let's put it down. More of them. Clean them up.
Ahí sí, pues guacho. No. Podemos seguir avanzando.
Deploying lethal countermeasures.
Not the last of
processing plant. Catch with some...
Kaiser, we close enough for you to dial in the location of those samples from here?
Excelente.
Yes, they're faint, but I'm detecting multiple valid signatures. I have restored power to the containers.
Jackpot! Get down there and collect as many as you can.
No quiero. No quiero abrir wea. ¿Qué más aquí? Sinapsis alfa. Granada. Vamos.
Possible target. Species.
Morphs! Open fire! They're everywhere! All around! Nowhere is safe!
Join us in bliss.
You can't beat it. It's too strong. Give up now. You're not gonna leave me, are you? Oh, God.
They're going to eat you alive.
Help! They're gonna kill us. Please, help.
Están peleando con otro aquí abajo, weón. ¿Dónde está, weón?
You're not getting away from
Think you've seen us? They're doing something like this.
Chucha, ¿eh? Seguimos. Seguimos. Seguimos felices. Seguimos vivos. Seguimos vivos. Eso.
All Achilles samples collected.
All right. Now hand those over to Kaiser, and let's get out of here.
Samples secure.
Nice work. Now, earlier scan picked up a valid terramorph sample, but, well, it's in the spaceport. And the quick route there looks like it got blasted when the port did.
There are steam tunnels under the city, which will allow us to access the spaceport.
What do you... That's right. Kaiser, how did you know that?
I am not sure.
Other option?
Not from where I'm standing.
You got our answer.
Access unlocked. We may proceed.
Complicado de pelear con estos monos. Complicado.
Kaiser, this flora, this is Lazarus plant, isn't it?
Confirmed.
You know, no one even realized it was a living thing until someone got it under a microscope and saw it had cells. Can't be cultivated anywhere but Londinian. Real marvel.
¿Por qué te emplotaste, mijo?
I just can't stop smiling around you.
No, pues la otra wea lo tapa más, pues guacho. Tengo que andar en todo. Ah, no se lo saca. Ah, no me da opción, ya explico. Ah, le gusta andar de vaquero a mi guacho. Nos gusta andar de macho.
All these leeches. What's keeping you things warm?
Bichos de mierda, man. Hay que revisar por si acaso.
My God, look at it. A Lazarus in bloom. You know, we might be some of the only... What's happening? Have you seen this? Are terramorphs.
What? Those little nuisances can do that? Holy mother.
You just saw that, right? You would tell me if I was losing my mind. That heat leech became a terramorph. The pests that have snuck onto every planet are baby terramorphs. Heat leeches hide out in ships, sneak away after landing, and then, with time, they transform. We just found out how terramorphs move between planets.
Ya. Se fue a la chucha mi teoría de que eran seres humanos.
I am sincerely inclined to agree, but current evidence suggests nature manages it just fine. The Lazarus plant. It's clearly an accelerant for the terramorph, a heat leech transformation process. Make one into the other in an instant. But that means if anyone knew about this, they could trigger a terramorph spawning. You could sneak a leech into a city, or even multiple leeches, into a place like New Atlantis. Good God. The attack on New Atlantis, does this... Could someone have set that up?
Es que parecieron muy... Fue muy a lo bruto como aparecieron los terramorfos. Los terramorfos, los horrormorfos.
We may proceed.
Entonces, y se vienen a matar a las culebras bebé.
Safety's off.
Cell data from the New Atlantis and Tau Ceti attacks, right?
Uploading them myself.
Captain, let Kaiser take a look at that sample.
Beginning analysis. It is a match. This suggests with high certainty that the Lazarus plant was used to trigger the attacks on both planets.
There's
Y son serpientes, bueno, en la casa Varun.
New Atlantis and Tau Ceti. The transformations on those worlds, they must have been triggered by human hands. Captain, do you understand what it is we just stumbled on here? Exactly. Someone saw the Lazarus plant in action and used it to trigger the attacks.
Using implements of nature as weapons of war. Where have I heard that before?
Our Xenoweapons group never dealt with anything like this, though they probably would have liked to. No, whoever found this, they likely never expected they'd get caught. Makes some sense, actually. Tau Ceti was likely their first test. Someplace remote where no one would question a few settlers going missing. Ensure the big show, the attack on New Atlantis, would be a success. And the timing of that one, it couldn't have been just luck that it happened right when we were asking the cabinet to do something about the terramorphs. These attacks, I think someone planned them to set all this in motion. They certainly were. But having this answer, well, it raises a couple big questions. Who could pull something like this off? And why?
Yo sospecho de la casa Barun.
Let's save the discussion for when you all aren't standing in the universe's closest equivalent to hell frozen over. If we're gonna do anything to prevent more terramorph attacks, human cause or otherwise, we need that final sample.
Roger that. Kaiser, get us into the spaceport?
The entrance is this way. I am unable to provide sufficient power to the lock mechanism.
Anyone got ideas where we could get some extra juice?
Local power looks like it was controlled in the security office. Upper floor.
Captain and I can scout it out. Kaiser, see if you can't find another way to get it open.
Roger that. I have restored power to the office entrance. You may proceed.
There's the control panel. Still looks operable.
No. Una katana. Wakizashi.
Things to survive.
No, pero cómo van a ver traje aquí. Ya pico. ¿Qué hay acá?
Reactivated. Error. Controls reboot engaged. Running diagnostic. Diagnostic complete. Multiple systems unavailable. Warning. Priority safety concern detected. Exterior hatch power restored.
Back in business.
Warning. Emergency recorder message detected. Transcription process engaged. Playback initiated.
Admiral Senna, we need to make the evacuation request.
That's my father he's addressing. He was here? Didn't think he'd have the guts to look those soldiers in the eye before blowing this place to pieces.
Admiral!
It just transformed. An invisible weapon.
defensive positions around the spaceport. No one leaves. I'll send ships as soon as possible.
Thank God. None of us wanted to go down swarmed by those things.
That won't be your fate, Colonel. You have my word.
Transcription complete. Physical copy available.
An invisible weapon. He knew. He knew about the Lazarus plant. Grab that recording. We should talk. Victus. He destroyed this place. Killed these people to keep what he knew about the Lazarus plant and the terramorphs and all this a secret. Didn't he? Saw the potential of the plant as a weapon and hid it away. He killed those people. Condemned this city to keep them from sharing what they might have seen. He was
No way that justifies slaughtering his own troops. Where you go, you see. Classy as always.
a calculated loss. These soldiers for the rest of the galaxy. That sounds exactly like what my father would do. But it doesn't. It can't justify slaughter. But I guess that's just another part of his sick legacy now. He thought he was protecting us all, taking the secret to his grave. Only he didn't succeed. Now someone else knows about the Lazarus plant and is using it exactly how he feared. That's exactly right. Let's move. The settled systems are counting on us. Kaiser, try it now.
Guys, your sample, it moved. Be real careful out there.
Conchas de su madre, weón.
Doesn't sound good.
¿Por qué aparecen así? Par de weones, weón. No, porque pueden saltar los culiados. Oh, chas. La wea buena, weón. Quiero revisar bien, capaz que hay algo que nos ayude a pelear, weón. No. Esta wea que...
Why?
¿Cachaste, culiao?
That thing is putting out some kind of signal. Radar's light. I think you're due for some company.
They're not coming after us. I guess we should grab that sample while we can. Good. Now just stash that sample with Kaiser and we're done.
Final sample secure.
All wrapped up. Time to get the hell out of here. Percival, you should unplug and find somewhere we can talk. Privately.
On it. See you soon.
Lo hicimos pico, weón. Salgan, mierda. Qué weá, dinosaurios culiados, salgan, weón. ¿Qué vamos? Sorpresa.
Look at all of you. Back from the underworld. Got pretty frantic on the comms towards the end there. But it sounded like this was a success. Got everything we need to put this plan in motion. Ah, best place for them. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that Bay Victus knew about this damn plant?
That's what it sounded like.
Guess the old Admiral must have told someone what he learned. Even he's not clever enough to pull off an attack like that from the great beyond. That's putting it lightly.
But it's clear someone knows about the plant and realized what ends it could be put towards. Captain, we need to get these samples back to the lab and verify we'll be able to handle cleaning up the leeches as well as the terramorphs. But in the interim, do you think you could look into what we uncovered? See if you can turn up any information on who might have committed the attacks?
If it were me, I'd start at the scene of the crime. New Atlantis.
Thank you, Captain. Once you finish your investigation, we'll meet you outside the cabinet chambers. They're gonna want to hear this. Take care of yourself. No telling who might be involved.
The samples are preserved.
No sé quién fue, weón. No sé, weón. No tengo pistas. Sospechos de la casa Barún por esa weá de que tienen en la cabeza de que adoran a la serpiente
I barely ever visited here before I joined Constellation.
y weá, pues culeo. Esta weá no estaba antes, weón. Que es como que una weá que se hizo tira y cayó acá, weón. Antes había un pedazo más chico, no cacho, weón.
That's convenient. Kilo City could really use something like that. You are a sight to behold.
Deje de coquetearme, po. Estamos trabajando.
Authorized personnel all. Unit has to stay here.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for? Now, what in the heavens would make you claim something as ludicrous as that? That's quite the claim, Captain. I hate to think what would happen if such a patently untrue statement reached the ears of the Cabinet. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us. You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis, my doing. Years of coordination between my associate and I. Figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian. Learning to synthesize it. Use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I might do such a thing. All in due time. First, I want to see if you're truly as astute as you appear. So why would someone like me go through all this trouble?
No. Loco, no. Esta me parece demasiado de pendejo.
Oh, my revenge was far from petty, Captain. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport. Fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's Terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential. Simple to say now, but with the outbreak raging from a barely understood source, the moment demanded quick action. So I did what was required. I removed the dangerous variable from an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution,
given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You.
Respecto a esta pregunta, ahora sospecho de la diputada.
It wasn't easy. But the beauty of being loathed is that people will do whatever they can not to deal with you. They wanted to pretend I didn't exist. And so I used their blind eye to my advantage. Still, establishing a back channel to Orlays via the UC recovery teams was painstaking work. I've led campaigns less nerve-wracking. They believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but were in fact delivering precisely encoded slates, filled with instructions invisible to any but their recipient, dropped off at just the right moments to fall into the proper hands. All without the UC realizing whom you're actually dealing with. Slow work. But as you can see, ultimately effective. There are no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged the opportunity for us to overcome one and become the other. And we all benefited. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday. I'm simply looking for you to acknowledge the truth. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the terramorphs, securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the Cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the Cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlays and Orlays alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together. Well, I do hope you'll keep the larger perspective in mind, Captain. We've done something great here. Let's not squander the opportunity to do more.
Em, estoy todavía pensando, weón. Que voy a abrir esta weá por las puras bien, pues weón.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
Love you make every day special. Let's do it.
Con esta weá de la vanguardia nos metieron el dedo en la boca como quisieron, weón. Cachete. Igual mayor culio. ¿Qué weá si se tienen dividido el sector? Bueno.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the acyles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Any leads on who might have committed the attacks?
Orlays? Reginald Orlays? He did this? I didn't think he was still alive. You're sure it was him?
That's some impressive work. So then give us the rundown. Where's Orlays now? Were you able to bring him in? I'm sorry to hear that. Those sorts of missions are always tough. Any idea why he might have done it? Or what he was doing with the plant?
Aha! That makes sense. Plenty of abandoned tech for an old warmonger to pilfer there. Instead, he stumbles on the plant and finds the perfect way of getting back at the UC for trying to put him on trial.
Decides to use the plant against the people that destroyed his old life. I can see that. Well, at least he won't be able to hurt anybody else now. Might be the best we could ask for, given the circumstances. So I guess there's nothing else to do but get this all in front of the cabinet. Unless there were other things we needed to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the Terramorphs.
Microbe is gonna make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math. And a 1 in a million chance of a mutation isn't 0. So I guess we're still in discussion. Probably best at this point to let the cabinet wait, see if they have a preference. And here we go.
Tan buena la serie.
Yes?
No, no. ¿Qué te pasa?
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
My God.
An attack? Using Terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlais commit these attacks, Captain?
That appears to be the case, ma'am. The captain tracked that information down just after our trip to Londinian.
Reginald Orlais? Wasn't there a report he'd been killed recently?
Body was found floating around Etheria. Report mentioned you were sent to try and bring him in, Captain. I guess that didn't go according to plan.
Ah, yes. I was told about your mission, and who ordered it. Did you two suspect at the time Orlais might have been involved in the attacks? Well, it appears you were ahead of the curve. This report contains definitive evidence Orlais triggered the attacks via this Lazarus plant the Captain and Major Sinan uncovered.
Simply harrowing.
Indeed. Though it would have been preferable for him to have finally faced the UC's justice, it seems both of you are to be commended for ensuring he was dealt with before he could strike again. You have our thanks. Now, with our villain unmasked, we can attend to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
Well, luckily the natural hostility of Londinian makes keeping out trespassers relatively easy. But we'll ensure its growth is contained, that access to the plant is only permitted via highly regulated clearances and that our troop presence on Londinian is increased. I'm glad you think so. So then, to our final topic. The Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter.
Glad to see someone's not afraid of a little applied genetics. The science division is in full agreement.
Let's just hope we're not creating a bigger problem than we're solving.
You needn't be so afraid. We aren't some cowboys. This will be handled responsibly.
Order, please. And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD. Despite all your checkered histories, with the Xeno Warfare Unit or SysDef, the Cabinet still believes you all earned a display of gratitude for what you've done. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
mientras me lleven las locas, bacán, weón.
Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts, spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
Logro un legado forjado.
you're still a human, right?
Sí, soy el superhumano. Soy el medio humano.
Well, well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain. No need to thank me. You brought this on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your accounts now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Affilion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access. Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done. But with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you? Suppose that's true. Well, we can remedy that right now. Just getting those coordinates to you now. Report says ships at these coordinates fired on United Colonies craft. You're cleared to use lethal force if necessary. Sounds like a... clearing out a snake nest this time. Maroon zealots. So be ready for a real scrap. Do us proud.
You've been busy, I hear. Clearing out bad guys.
Ay, quiero mi departamento.
Last minute. Breath? Check.
Oye, qué weá. Quiero mi casa ahora. He estado ahorrando toda mi vida, weón.
I'm so glad I'm not single anymore.
Cae de mierda. Ah, era acá. Mercury Tower. Ya, ¿quién me arregla la agua de la torre Mercury, weón? Vanguardia, ¿se eliminan los enemigos? No. Legado forjado, dirigir el gabinete, va a ir manteniendo el ritmo. Misión, eliminación Phantom, a cualquier planeta del sistema de Jaffa. Actividades. ¿Quién es Sora? ¿Quién es Sora? ¿Quién es Sora? Sale, mierda. Ah, parece que esta es la loca con la que quise comprar la otra vez departamento y me mandó a la chucha porque era pobre, weón. Sí.
I'm always ready to make a deal.
Fuiste vos, pues, negra, weón.
If it isn't the United Colonies' newest Class 1 citizen, you've made quite a name for yourself in New Atlantis. In fact, the higher-ups want to thank you for your dedicated service by giving you one of the nicest pieces of real estate in the city. It's a premium penthouse at the top of Mercury Tower. Best location in New Atlantis, in my professional opinion.
What do you say? It'll just take a second to get you registered as the owner.
Great! You're in for a real treat. It's one of my favorite apartments in the city. Okay, you're all set. Your new home's located in Mercury Tower in the residential district. You'll love the place. It has a gorgeous floor plan and an unbeatable view of the city. Now that you're an owner, I'm sure I'll be seeing you around town.
Ay, me da con meterme acá, weón. Puta, verdad que no me puedo. Esta wea. No podía usar viaje rápido porque estáis saltando. No, po, weón. Ya. Ahora sí, po. Ay, juegos para los niños. Sale, culión. Sale, mierda. Ya, vamos bien, vamos bien. ¡Guau! Tengo mi casa propia, weón. ¡Qué emoción! Oh, qué emoción. Oh, el medio balcón. Tengo que poner malla para los michis. Simpático. Piso flotante, no veis que pusieron piso flotante. Mete, Sam. Esto podría ser. Esto podría ser oficina, ¿eh? Sí. Tiene pinta de oficina. Ah, pero necesitamos 3 habitaciones, pues bueno. Este es el baño, bien, este es el water, este es el cachazón, go, la ducha para los momentos de pasión, para dejar las manos marcadas en el vidrio. Ya, esta wea es alcoba principal. Oh, walking closet. Oh, walking baño. Ah, el otro es para las visitas. Bien, aquí podemos... Oh, el medio de EPA, weón. ¿Y qué tenemos acá? Bien, no tenemos vecinos al frente, así que podemos hacer cochinaja acá. Hay que poner malla para los michos. Vamos a ver la habitación de Cora. Ah, no, weón. Oh, la media lavadora, conchetumadre, le puedo meter como 3 plumones ahí, weón. Y la habitación de Cora. Una niña. Está bien, pues, weón. ¿Qué opináis?
The whole Terramorph situation, seriously, hats off to you. When I was growing up, everyone was afraid of Terramorphs. How they could seemingly strike anywhere at any time. The carnage, the destruction. The stuff you've done here could save so many lives.
Eran como el coco,
Eat your
weón.
nutrient paste or the Terramorphs will get you. Were you ever told that? I know using the microbes to kill the Terramorphs may be controversial, but for what it's worth, I think you made the right call. 100%. We just can't take any chances with those damn Terramorphs. Imagine, a generation from now, Terramorphs will just be a legend. In time, a fairy tale. The United Colonies. Hell, everyone and everywhere owes you big time. Even if they don't know it.
Cacha, esta pura habitación de lado a lado debe ser como... De aquí hasta la muralla de ahí al final debe ser... Casi todo este departamento en el que vivo, pues weón. Chucha, weón. Ah, ¿qué es esto? Decorar. Eso, tengo artesanía. Mobiliario. Decoración, no, mobiliario. Expositores. Qué weón, encontré otra puerta. ¿Qué encontraste? Ah, bueno. Para la emisión de artesanía, mobiliario. Camas chicas, no, pues nosotros necesitamos la cama grande, pues. Cama grande, refrigerador, no, para aquí refrigerador, no. Ah, ya, y aquí tengo cama y las variantes. Litera, K3, K3, otro K3, Super K3. No, porque esta indecencia, weón. Ay, podemos hacer aquí el medio carrete. Hoy cerramos la puerta, weón. Somos guasos. ¿Hoy las medias puertas? ¿Qué opináis? Aquí van a crecer nuestros hijos, weón. Desde aquí voy a matar a todos los putos horromorfos. ¿Qué es esa weá de allá? Hay weas para allá. Hay que ir a investigar para allá, weón. Ya dejamos la weá hasta acá. Después de esto, hoy ¿quién abrió la puerta? Ya después de esto viene el endgame del juego. Eso es